Shunt and your boy Redacted.
What's going on? Catch us on Wylion Mofo, Real Dumbshit, and Redacted Shunt for the Twitter. On YouTube and on Facebook is Official Wylion. Instagram is Wylion Official, and Mixcloud is Wylion RDS for all that dumb shit.
What's going on? It's the one that they call Shunt and it's the one that they call Redacted, and we're back in a case you've forgotten in the place that we call Real Dumbshit.
What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on, man? Top of the list, Rock in John Henry, whoever the fuck that is. Ruby Rose in Backcloth. Pet Cemetery's trailer. Free Below Tales of Arcadia, aka Troll Hunter 2. Rambo's new enemy been revealed as an Espanol. Guy Ritchie's Toff Guys. Beckinsale and Matthew McConaughey have been cast, and Henry Golden from Crazy Rich Asians. And Aladdin's Wrapped, which is also a Guy Ritchie film, and there's been a teaser trailer as well. Black Widow's officially been lit. Coogler to return on Black Panther. James Gunn to write for Suicide Squad 2, with Dave Bautista actually following. Grasp has released a new trailer, and of course there's the more important and yet concisive Venom movie review that we'll be doing at the end. So, any dumb shit?
What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What?
Yeah. Any dumb shit?
What do you mean?
Like, anything to interrupt me by? You've got a packed show.
No.
Okay, cool. So, The Rock in John Henry.
Wait, before that.
You motherfucker. It happens all the time. It's not surprising.
It's never happened before. This is the first time ever.
No, it's not. It happens every single time.
It's the first time
You're going to
ever.
just have to have your own section. You're just going to say, listen, I've got something to say. And it'll be like, something to say by Redacted. That'll probably be the best way forward. Yeah, it's consistency. Consistency.
What if I've got nothing to say? If I've got nothing to say, huh?
You don't do the section. There is no prize. It's fine. It's not a thing. Just label it. Just label it. Rather than it being sort of like one of those things where it's like, why am I? It's like, no one cares. It's annoying. It's like, only me, that guy from friggin' Harry Enfield, if you remember that. Only me! And he'll just try and do some shit in your house, and he'll freak out. Sorry. I think I caught him off guard there. That was kind of gross as well. Like, it's like the biggest glob of spit that just flew out his mouth.
Sorry.
That's bad. Yeah, you can imagine like it's one of those times a year where everyone's sort of slightly flued up. So I keep forgetting that.
I'm good. I dodged the flu.
Oh, you're lying, bruv. You dodged it like a freaking bowling ball.
Nah, I dodged it like a
Well, I didn't
Muhammad
dodge
Ali.
It. I didn't dodge it, bruv. I took it straight.
Yeah, no, I can hear it right now.
I took it like a fucking ball of freaking pizza dough, bruv.
Straight to the face.
Straight to the face. Straight on the counter, bruv. My ex-girlfriend. Anyway, so you're saying before that, carry on.
Yeah, so
My counter action of her. It's getting funny now. Like, I'm starting to counteract your thing with a whole rant about you interrupting, and that's now your interruption, and then you forget what you have to say afterwards.
I forgot. I know what I was going to say.
Okay,
so we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, we won't know years just because
it's redacted in it. So but I never really seen you in a situation where you meet with someone that you haven't seen for like a long time, and maybe you don't remember what their name is.
No, I do that all the
because
time. I do that all the time.
Yeah, but not around me. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen you in that situation, so I don't know how you handle it. Because I've got a friend, and like he'll just bluff his way through it, but which is fine. Like that's whatever your strategy is, isn't it? But I'll get like a random text saying, "Oh, do you remember this guy?" I'm like, "Bruv, what guy?"
So he wants you to be his memory. He wants you to be his memory.
Yeah, and he'll be like, that guy we used to go to school with, and I'm like, "What are you talking?" It's like,
so I'm supposed to remember phone groups now. Like, the hell, you can't be doing that, bro.
That's what what I'm saying. Like, how am I supposed to remember? One, like, I ain't even see the guy. Like, you're just I'm trying to go off your description of the guy. Like, your vague description of what he looks like now.
I mean, did you remember, like, what form group he was in or something like that? Did he try that route where he just...
I mean, it
used to
be
be in blah, blah, blah's class? Or...
Sometimes, but, like, it happens so often. Wow, it happens often enough that there's, like, variations of this. It'd be like, like, he used to work at that shop, or, like, he used to come in the shop all the time, or... Like, he used to work 2 doors down, or we used to go to school together, or whatever.
I'll carry that burden, bruv. I won't say it out loud, because I don't want to, like, seem as if I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, you know, like, yeah, of course I remember him. Or most of the time, people just get called bruv anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I work in a very sort of, like, anonymous background of a job sort of thing, so my job, people know my name, but I don't know their name.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to wear a name badge and crap like that. So it's like, people just come up to me and say, oh, do you remember? So, hi, how you doing, brother? And, you know, using my government alias.
Yeah.
Shunt obviously wasn't the name my mother gave me.
My parents did give me Redacted.
I think that's because it was probably one of those copyrighted names. You know, I don't know that many people with your name. Of your skin tone, which will be redacted. But
yes.
No one has his name ever. That is of his skin tone.
Yes,
ever. And everybody else who hasn't got his skin tone also has it. Yes, it's a very common name. Moving swiftly on.
So what? You just like bruv it out.
Well, I'll bruv it out, or I would allude to some form of communication where I can kind of get him to say his name.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would say something like, I'll be like, yo, Shunt's about to do this. What's the motive of you? And like, obviously he would have to either say his name or he'll just say a calm sentence like, I'm just going to the shops. So that's one way of doing it. It's very, very abstract that way. Don't really recommend it. Another one is just basically ask them and then just blame your drug or alcohol problem. That's usually a good way of actually getting the information out of people. I've had a really rough time. Loads of cocaine, loads of weed, lots of ketamine. It's all my fault. What's your name? Or you can get somebody who knows him and you know him, and then get them to cough up or confess their name.
Yeah, but this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to make me that person.
Yeah,
I'm not that guy.
I'm
not that guy.
Unless you're present, you can't do it. I mean, there's some times where people will FaceTime him. I mean, personally, honesty is the best policy. Just say, yo, bruv, it's been a while.
That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. I mean, if it's like 10 years, then yeah, if 2 years.
I'm saying like anything over 5. Like, just tell me what your name is. Like, just reintroduce yourself.
Yeah. Nah, that's too much. I mean, there should be some. I mean, because I remember people from way back in the day.
No, but it depends though. Like, if it's like,
say, do you remember
we used to work together, or like they used to work near me, and like we used to see each other. Like, you used to come in the shop or whatever. Then reintroduce yourself. I know your face. Like, I know your face. I haven't forgotten you. Don't be offended. But I just can't remember what your name is. Like,
or you could say, yeah, just put your number down, innit?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
But then you're gonna be forced to speak to somebody or communicate with somebody you haven't had any need to contact in like 2, 3, 500 years. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just always awkward. Facebook's always easy to cop out as well.
Yeah, but you need the name at least.
No, you could say, so what name if you put on your Facebook? If you put your own name, or if you
and it'd be like, yeah, it's just my name.
No, but that's if you're awkward.
But that's what I do. That's what I do. Just like, yeah, look me up on Facebook. It's just my name.
You have your government name is very generic, so it's like, you know, it's not like you have a real sort of like complicated name.
Yeah.
So you haven't got that. It's like when you... Because me, I had a lot of, say, African friends that I used to go to school with. And I'm not saying that all African people look the same, because that's extremely racist.
Yeah.
However, their names weren't, your typical Daves or your...
Okay, yeah. Fair.
So, the mispronunciation of it, so if his name is Alatunde or something like that, and then you're calling him Babatunde, it's... You're a dick. Because, like... no, that's how it feels. Like, it's not actually you're a dick.
Yeah.
It's like, people like to be remembered, and then the worst thing about it is if it's a person that's not memorable, is that your fault?
No, not really.
This is it.
I just got a lot of stuff going on. Like, old stuff needs to get pushed out for new stuff.
Yeah, you say that, but I still remember Power Rangers, and I remember all their names, but I don't remember this guy's name. That's the worst thing about it.
What's wrong with that?
No, but it's like, if you want to be remembered, be memorable.
Be more memorable than Power Rangers.
And, contact motherfucker if you want to chat to him, rather than, just stare at me via Facebook and, say nothing.
Yeah.
It's long. Reach out. Reach out and touch base, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Oh, God.
One more thing. No, look, I've been dying to get this off my chest for a while. I can't say anything because I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend this girl.
You don't remember her basic bitch name?
Huh? No. This is kind of different.
Okay.
But I don't know. I know you will understand what I'm about to say.
Okay. Awkward nature.
Let's
give it awkward nature. Is it like 4 to 5? Oh, sorry, so it's like we give it out of 5. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5?
Well, presently it's not awkward at all.
2.
Actually, it's awkward because like when you want to say something to someone and you can't because
you're not doing a proposal on this thing, Redacted. That's long.
No,
that is long. Don't you dare.
Please,
bruv.
Please,
don't.
Please,
don't.
My name's Redacted, not fucking romantic. Mr. X or whatever. Mr. Right. Fuck that shit.
Jesus. Okay, okay.
No, but sometimes you want to say something to someone, but they might not take it the right way. Because, maybe you don't know them on the level in it. So, they might not understand the reference that you're going to make is not meant for offence.
On my mind, anyway. I mean, I'm bad that way as well. I have no filter.
Well, that's why my name is Redacted. Because I know, sometimes I cut it out. I don't want to say certain things.
Okay.
So, one girl I know.
The one that shall not be named.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know her super well, which is why I can't say this to her. But recently...
Her pussy stinks.
Really? No.
Wow, okay.
No.
That's all good. That's a 4.
Whew.
Okay, so we're diving.
I don't know her that well.
It's free. So it's a free. It's a free in awkwardness. Then that's fine.
No, it's awkward because I really want to say it, but I can't say it. This is why I have to say it here.
Okay. You don't really have to say it all. You can sort of keep it.
No, but I really want to say it.
Okay, say
I really want to say it. Nah, she looks like she got reverse clueless.
Okay.
So it looks like she had a reverse makeover. But not like in a bad way though. In those films where it's like, girl's really pretty anyway. Like she's a pretty nerd, but then they de-nerdify her, and she's meant to be prettier, but she kind of looks the same, but just without the glasses and shit.
So basically,
this one had that shit in reverse.
Okay, so what you're saying...
I want to say it, and it's like, it's not just like she got glasses. Like she got glasses, she got braces. Like it's.
So what you're saying is that she's technically a diamond in the rough, right? Or is she a piece of coal?
Nah, she's alright.
So
she's alright.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you need to
But she's alright. She was alright before. She's alright now.
So basically, what you're
but she just got braces and glasses.
So what you're saying is that she needs to make an effort with braces and glasses. She needs to start wearing contact lenses and get them braces for her teeth.
No,
that's insensitive.
No, but no. That's not insensitive because what I'm saying is
bullying.
No,
I'm saying
it is not.
It's
Stop trying to put that on me, because I'm not saying that.
Okay, fine.
What I'm saying is, she still looks the same level of prettiness, but just with glasses. But it looks like, because she just randomly came in. Well, not randomly, but she came in and she looked like that. She didn't look like that before, and I'm thinking, where the glasses and braces come from? Like, I've known you all this time.
Maybe she's
there was
in
none
a
of that
really,
shit.
really like depressing relationship, or maybe she's always looked like that, and she.
And that made her get braces.
No, but she was just making an effort. So
Adult braces.
adult braces, it's never too late, you know.
I don't know, it just seems very weird. Adult braces always seems like it's cute, but it still kind of seems weird.
Yeah, you're not gonna get close.
It just seems like, why didn't you get that shit sorted out before? Like, you had
no money,
many teenage years. Yeah,
no money. Braces are expensive, bro.
Don't know, maybe.
I never had a retainer.
Possibly.
It's very expensive.
Possibly.
You can
Well,
only
I've
get
never
it
had that
once
shit
you sort
either.
out your mortgage as well.
I guess, maybe.
And we live in a different time.
Maybe.
To all these people.
Maybe.
Definitely. The 80s races were hardcore as well. You remember that episode of The Simpsons with Lisa Simpson?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like just cracking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah. But yeah, I really want to tell her she looks like she had a reverse makeover.
So basically, you want to say to the girl, in layman's terms, you just got uglier.
Yeah, but except not that.
No, that's how it's going to come out.
But exactly, that's why I can't say it,
exactly
because that's how
how-
she's going to take it.
No, but rightly so.
But that's not rightly so. That's not what I'm saying.
By the way,
That's
right,
not what I'm
you used to be a
saying.
buff thing before, but now you're buzz, bruv. You are busted. Can't be rolling with you. Layers. And the worst thing about it is that it's a validation thing, isn't it? So she did actually like you. That's all your chances gone. I recommend against it. Just saying. It's like if you see a girl, puff out a bit or something like that, and she's all self-defeating, and she said, "Oh, I've gotten fat. Oh God." You're not meant to say, "Yeah, you're right." As I said, I've learned the hard way being unfiltered. So, yeah, especially around this area, don't point to bits. It's just all wrong. Don't do it. If she says that, just smile in acknowledgement and then walk away, because you're only going to offend her. It's like she wants to be offended. It's really fucked up. It's like the cat comes over and then scratches your face. It's like, why are you coming over here? I was enjoying my space. Yeah. You came over here. I usually stroke you. Now you're scratching me. The fuck's your problem, bruv? You know what I mean? Tis life.
Yes.
Anyway, could you actually talk about non-realistic stuff? Because it's what we're here to do. So yeah, The Rock in John Henry. First of all, what the fuck is
John Henry? I knew you was gonna say that. You ain't heard the legend of John Henry, the still driving man or some shit. Like, basically, he beat the machine. I think there's like I swear, I think it's like a railroad thing. Like, they made a machine to build the railroad. He was like, I can do it faster, and he beat the machine. So I guess like this film will be like an updated version of that. It'll be like The Rock versus like a machine at a thing. He's gonna be better because he's John Henry.
Sounds rubbish.
Oh my god.
It does.
What's your problem?
I don't want to see a film about
you?
The Rock throwing around girders.
But I said it's probably not gonna be that. It'll just be like an updated, modern version, like iRobot. Like, iRobot could kind of be like a John Henry thing. Like, so, he beat the robots.
Not really.
Kind of. He kind of did.
He never. He had to team up with a robot in order to beat the robots.
Maybe.
There was one rogue robot.
Maybe.
And all the rest were red.
Maybe.
Weird looking. Anyway.
Yeah, but when they all ganged up, he beat them up by himself.
What, the blue robot?
No.
Will Smith didn't do nothing in that film, bruv.
He fought a bunch of robots.
He didn't. He ran from a lot.
He saved that lady from a robot.
He ran a lot in that film. He ran a lot. You have to watch it again. So Ruby Rose in Batcloth.
Yeah. So I was very surprised when I heard about this, because a certain somebody told me that she quit.
Well, technically, I was right because there's just going to be 2 Batwomen. So it's not.
There's not going to be 2 Batwomen.
Well, yeah, it's always 2 Batwomen.
No, there isn't.
There is, from that fucking film.
What film?
But there's 2 Batwomen in this series anyway. I know
That film is the only example of there being more than one Batwoman.
Nah, no. There's a load of it in the comics. As I told you before, I actually researched. It happens all the time.
But why are you lying?
Huh?
What happens all the time? Research.
No, as in...
Exactly. No, it doesn't. Exactly.
No.
That's my point.
As in...
That's my point.
As in...
That's my point.
As in Batwoman actually being, this character who does it on a part-time basis. It's bullshit, bro.
On a part-time basis. She puts in work. What are you talking about?
Part-time superhero, bro.
Talking about.
Bullshit. Anyway, as I said, the new Pet Sematary trailer.
What about Batwoman?
Yeah, what about? I don't care about this series, bro. I keep telling you. It's like, meh, at best.
Sexist.
No, it's not. It's just a rubbish concept for a TV
Sexist.
series. It's rubbish.
How is it? How is it? How is it when you're crying for Batman? It's the same damn thing.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
So no.
Only difference, she got boobs.
No, it's only difference she's got boobs, and on top of that, her parents weren't killed in the sort of crime alley sort of situation. She doesn't
Her
have
sisters, their twins, dead. I
She
think.
doesn't have $1 billion empire to look after.
So she has to work harder.
No, she's just a bum. Second of all, the
that's
character isn't interesting. It's not interesting.
Yeah, but you can always make a character interested with good writing.
You can also.
Yeah, but you're not willing to give it a chance.
You can also give a rice cake a blistering, mouthful of flavour by dousing it in hot sauce. I haven't got the fucking time to waste my time on dousing this thing with hot sauce or giving a damn about any of these characters in the Batwoman verse, especially when they're meant to be doing a Superman as well. So it's like a kick in the face. No.
Why is that a kick in the face?
Because do a Batman TV
Well,
series.
tell Warner to stop being a bitch, innit, and let them make a Batman series. You think they wouldn't make a Batman series if the powers that be would allow them to let them? Of course they would. Of course they would. They would be fucking around with Arrow and fucking Flash and all them motherfuckers if they were allowed to make a Batman series. That would have been the first thing they make. When they made Smallville, that's what they wanted to make, a Batman series. They wanted to make Batman Begins TV series, but before Batman Begins, because that was before that came out.
And what happened then?
But they weren't allowed. Warners were like, nah.
We want it as a film.
We're like, nah, you can't really do that, So we allow you to do that with Superman, but no flying and no capes, or no suit and no flying. Them the rules. So who you gonna blame? You can't blame them.
Yes, you can.
Just blame Warner, like Warner's powers that be, the ones in charge of deciding whether they can use characters or not. Them stop being up bitches.
They just need to do carte blanche on the way that they operate. I mean, I get it for logistic purposes. Like paying off motherfucking creators and all that stuff, or just come out with some new characters. How about that? Just come out with some new characters.
Yeah, but they don't pay the creators anyway. So what's their beef? They ain't got none.
Oh, this is it. They can't. They probably got an embargo against it anyway. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They do. That's why there's no Batman TV series.
Terrible.
You're just blaming the wrong people. You're hating on Batwoman because they can't make a Batman TV series. That's not their fault. That's not her fault.
I just don't like the character. I think it's a boring character.
Yeah, but again, like, she can be interesting. Like, any fucking Batman could be boring if you don't write him properly.
Bro. Listen, like, I just don't like Batwoman in general. Like, it's not even like, I don't know what you want to say. It's one of those ones where you want the character to be more interesting than they actually are, and it just doesn't happen. Like, even though there was 2 women playing the role, I just could not emotionally invest in any of it.
So you're basing it all on one film?
That and
pick up a comic.
No, but this is the thing. I did pick up a comic because I remember when you was gunning me about Batwoman, that's sexist, blah 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 blah. So I went on a pilgrimage. I went and I saw all these like main lines. I even read like all the weird stuff with dark metal, and there was like a Batwoman that was like an Atlantean and all that stuff. And I tried.
You can't start off with the weird shit.
You have to.
No.
Because that's the worst. As I said before, my theory is all
that's
about...
That's DC's whole problem. They started with the weird shit. Like,
yeah.
Just give us proper Superman. Don't start off with weird emo Superman.
Yeah.
it's a bit too much. But they
That's
did
what I'm
start.
saying.
I mean, like,
I'm saying.
what is it? What's that?
I
guy's
told
name?
you, Rebirth. What do you call it? Detective Comics. Read Batwoman in that.
Okay, I will try to. But even either, whatever the case may be, I don't see the purpose of Batwoman within the Arrowverse.
The purpose of Batwoman in the Arrowverse is they can't have Batman.
Yeah, they can't have Batman.
That is the purpose.
But they're doing the Superman TV series, apparently.
Well, you know, whatever's in it. Like they've already made like multiple Superman TV shows.
I don't know, man. I think it's just shit, really. Speaking of that shit,
What, Venom?
no. Well, as I said before,
It doesn't have the same kind of kick that it had
Yeah,
pre-watching it,
yeah.
but it still makes sense. It still works.
Doesn't really.
It still works.
It doesn't really.
It still works.
It's just very average. We'll get into that anyway. So, Pet Cemetery.
Yup.
Something gets buried in the place. It comes back to life, etc., etc., etc. Saw the new trailer. Can't say I'm really on board because the first one with Edward Furlong just took a lot out of me. It's so. I mean, like, have you ever seen it?
Nope.
Well, it's a lot, like, because somebody dies, they take him back into this like Indian burial ground, they then come back, and then it's a lot of emotional bullshit. It's like some guy's mom, I think, or sister or something. It gets really fucked up and twisted. But yeah, the
Are
new
you sure
trailer.
you've seen it?
Yeah, I have. In regards to the new one though, it doesn't look too different.
But it's not going to, is it?
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's like,
Based on the same source material.
but we know, we know that there's plenty more Stephen King books that they could probably do.
They're working their way through.
They're not. They're just doing the same ones
working
over and
their
over
way through.
again. Like, it's the same thing I said. Like, they're doing Carrie again.
Are they doing Carrie again?
Yes, they are doing Carrie
Are
again.
you sure?
Yeah. Even though they've done it like, what,
Are
7
you
years ago.
sure? Or is this like Ruby Rose is not going to be Batwoman sure?
No, Ruby Rose is probably not going to be Batwoman in the first season. She's probably going to be the underling to the current Batwoman, which is then going to be more irritating because at the moment it's just one of those things where it's just the most blandest piece of costume drama.
I mean, one, that's too convoluted. Two, they already showed pics with her in the shit.
Okay, fine, whatevs. Whatevs. Anyway, so Pet Cemetery looks very blandish anyway, so I don't know what to say about that.
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if we can trust your judgment anymore.
You know what? I can't trust your judgment ever since freaking. Well, there was that whole Iron Fist bit, and then there was the whole.
What Iron Fist bit?
The Iron Fist bit where you said Kung Lao, which is basically like a whole video game character.
Come on, man. It was late. I was tired.
Whereas, I know the difference between Mortal Kombat and Iron Fist. I'm just saying that. Anyway, Three Below Tales of Arcadia.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen Troll Hunter.
I have.
So, could you please let us know what that's about?
Ah, shit. Well, it's
Other than hunting trolls, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but it's not really about hunting. I mean, like, it's kind of.
It's the journey, right? It's one of those ones.
Nah, there isn't even a journey. They're in the same town. There's no real journey. Like, no one's going anywhere. It's just like, I don't know. Look, basically, it starts off where there's a fight between. I can't remember what they call the evil ones, but like the evil ones, they're trying to get this thing so they can unlock. Like, most of the evil ones are locked away in a side dimension type of thing. So they're trying to get this thing to break them out.
Yeah. So they want a key to a locked door. Right?
Basically, that kind of thing. And one troll is like the champion, so he's there to defend like the rest of the good trolls. Okay. And Troll Town, I can't remember what that's called.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not interested. It's just
it's good. It's Guillermo del Toro goodness. Okay, like, it's
cool.
good.
Okay, cool. So
it's good.
There's the sequel done by Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
You sure?
I think so. I mean, I think it's all based on his like creation.
Okay. Speaking of Spanish sequels, Rambo. What's his name? Sergio Perez Manceta
playing the arch nemesis of one John Rambo. What is the deal with that?
Talking about Tohan.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I was just bored. Carry on.
Fuck you.
But segueing away. No, to be fair, I mean, like Troll Hunter, it sounds like a good story kind of thing.
It is a good story. I didn't even get to the good part. Basically,
I don't want you to give any spoilers away.
No, I'm not going to give any spoilers away. This is just
Especially
what happens in the
Daredevil
first couple of minutes of the first episode. So the
first episode. What is it, a TV series?
Yeah, it's a TV series.
Really?
It's on Netflix.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck. I thought it was a friggin'...
They're on like season 3 or 4 already, man. You need to jump on.
So what is this? This is actual like a film spin-off?
No, that's another TV series.
Another TV series?
Yeah, but it's going to be... I think that one is based on... Oh, yeah, I do, because I read a bit about this one. This one is based on some aliens crash on Earth.
Yeah.
And they have to disguise themselves as humans while they fix their ship and they need to blah, 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 whatever.
Kind of like V.
Except they're less, like, takeovery. More like they're just trying to get home.
Okay, so more District 9.
Even District 9, they wasn't even really trying to get home. They were just trying to, like...
Alien Nation, I guess?
Kind of. Except they're in hiding. They're hiding as humans.
Okay, so the shapeshifters.
Well, I don't know. It might be, like, technology or something else. Yeah. I don't know if they actually change shape.
See, when I was saying about changing shape and all that stuff for the goodness of humanity, in regards to Darth Maul, you did give me like a 3rd degree on it, so I'm not going to say it's a good thing for them to disguise themselves.
Oh,
you know,
this
alien
is
and proud.
Completely different. This is a completely different situation.
I'm against it.
They're on an alien planet. They're outnumbered.
So they're
7 billion to 1 or to 3.
To 3, okay, fine.
A 4 if you include the dog.
There's a dog.
Well, it's a alien pet
sub
which hides as a dog. This is why I think it's probably more technology than shapeshifting abilities.
Maybe. So with Rambo, anyway.
Troll Hunter.
God.
So the champion troll, he ends up dying in this battle.
Nice.
And so like there's like this amulet thing. And so it chooses, a bit like the Green Lantern ring, it chooses the next one. Yeah. And it chooses this boy, like he's just a kid. Like just a kid living in this town. He's on his way to school. He finds this thing. He picks it up, thinks it's interesting, whatever. It starts acting weird, so he tries to get rid of it a couple of times. And it just keeps coming back to him. And then it just gives him the powers of like a troll hunter. He's got like a cool armor, a badass sword. His friends end up getting like mystical weapons as well. Like his best friend.
Power Rangers sort of thing.
No, but better.
Ugh.
Like his best friend gets this hammer that changes size, so he can fuck people up with it, and his crush gets like a staff that you can use to teleport.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's good stuff. You should watch it.
Okay, I'll try.
Now you can talk about Dumbass Rambo.
Dumbass Rambo is not Dumbass Rambo. It's one guy shooting everything, which is great. And
he's about a bajillion years old.
And he's really old. Yeah, now, anyway. Before it wasn't like that.
Yeah, but now he is.
He's really old. Like, this is post.
And there's new villain. He's young. Like, he's fresh out the box.
Fresh out the box.
Rambo's going to kill him. End of story.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to have an easy run this time. I think this is his last outing. Because at the moment, I think...
Yeah, but he's not exactly going to die at the end.
I think... No, but this is the thing. I think Sylvester Stallone's trying to wrap up all of his characters.
I don't think so.
I think so. Because he's done it with Balboa.
That wasn't even his idea.
Well, he's doing it with Creed.
That wasn't even his idea.
Well, there you go.
He didn't want to do it. Apparently, he didn't want to do it until Ryan Coogler contacted him. He wanted to make the film. He was like, nah. Then he saw Fruitville Station, and then he was like, yeah.
Fruitville Station, explain.
Fruitville Station? I haven't seen it. But it's Ryan Coogler's first or second film, I think. Michael B. Jordan was in it as well. Okay. And I can't remember what it's about because I didn't see it.
Fair enough. So that film swayed him, and then you said, yeah.
Well, that plus script, and he was like, yeah.
Okay, fine. So Creed 2 as well, but we'll get back to that. So yeah, in regards to the new Rambo, I do feel like he is sort of like trying to wrap up his characters. I mean, the only one that we'll never see is probably Cobra, which I'm really gutted about. It's the only series that he didn't pursue. But in saying that, he had...
There's lots of things he didn't pursue.
Nah.
He didn't pursue Stop or My Mum Will Shoot Too.
Yeah, that's because of the pranks of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
The only one...
There was no Tango and Cash 2.
Yeah, I'm really gutted about that one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, now it's way too late.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Kurt Russell.
Although...
Yeah,
actually, no, it's too late.
It's too late.
It's
like,
too late.
It should have happened like 5 years after.
It's too late. Yeah, of course.
Tango and Cash 2 would have been amazing. Tango and Cash is a good
even like 10, maybe like 10 years ago, they probably could have still done it.
Yeah. Even over the top, I reckon the arm wrestling thing...
They shouldn't have been over the top too.
It should have been.
No.
Should have been.
They explored arm wrestling way past the limits of what anybody thought it was going to be explored.
Yeah, but it's like, for me, it was like the Karate Kid. When they had something that stupid, they should have just rolled with it. Literally.
Yeah, but with Karate Kid, there's more places to go. There's not really much places to go once you've arm wrestled everybody.
I suppose. Yeah,
And turn your cap backwards. Like, what's it?
I just remember it just being a thing. Like, everybody's like, yeah, let's arm wrestle. Like, that was normal. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can tell who's older than most people because that's still a thing. Like, some people truly get gassed when they say, yeah, let's arm wrestle. I mean, the only reason why I speak like this because I was rubbish at it. I mean, like, I never used to lose because I had a weird wrist.
Yeah.
I could pop it upwards. And, like, where they would hit my arm against the ground or whatever, my palm or my back of my palm, I don't even know what the part of my hand, back of my hand.
Yeah.
What is the name of that? Is that backhand? Backhand, I guess. Handback. Never touched the sort of like mat, so I won't lose. And I'll just wait for them to get like tired, and then I'll just ease their soft muscles back. But yeah, it's weird. Anyway, speaking of tough guys, and over the top guys, Guy Ritchie is doing a film called Toff Guys. That's TOFF guys, which is a British term for people of a higher esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of...
Back to his gangster roots.
Well, this is it. Is it going to be a gangster thing?
Yeah.
So it's like rich gangsters.
I don't... From what I read, I don't really get the tough bit, but sounds okay.
Yeah, I suppose. But if it's a gangster...
Sounds okay. I mean, it can't be worse than King Arthur.
King Arthur wasn't that bad. It just was the wrong time. It was the wrong time for it. I mean, for me, you should have put it up against something that was a lot weaker, like the Robin Hood of the day.
What, the new one?
Well, the second-ish new one, the one with Russell Crowe. That would have been a better time.
Yeah, but that's old.
Like, but that's what I'm saying.
That's old now.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been a better time for King Arthur or that film to be made around those times. I mean, like,
I don't think so. I don't think it be sitting next to a shitter film would make more people go to it. It might make it look better, but it wouldn't make more people go.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, like, but then it's like one of those ones where Chris Cunningham, is it Chris Cunningham? It's Chris Hunnam, isn't it? Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah,
my bad. I only know him as like the guy from Sons of Anarchy, really. So,
his name's not Chris and that evil.
I know, but I know his first name. It's a weird one. It's like because he was a British guy. He did an interview. It really confused me. Anyway, that guy.
Yeah. Charlie
Hunnam. Great British actor. Ironically, you know, in spite of what I said. What was it? He did... Well, he was in Queer as Folk, weren't he, first?
Way back, yeah.
Way back. He was like the young guy that was like being groomed or something like that. And then he moved to the States, strangely.
I mean, I guess he must have done some stuff in between, but yeah, the next time we noticed him pop up was Sons of Anarchy.
Which I still haven't finished.
I still haven't finished.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like, regards to that casting, he was a good King Arthur, I think, and Jude Law was a good antagonist? Yeah, he was the antagonist in it. But it's like one of those ones where, like I said, it's the timing of the film. The film wasn't really necessary at that time. And the second one just was like meh in comparison. But it's still a good film, well cast, well directed. It's not the worst King Arthur film. Speaking of the worst King Arthur film, he's wrapped Aladdin, hasn't he, Mr. Guy Ritchie? So it's been a very busy beam. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
I mean, it's not that busy. He finished one film and he started another. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I suppose. But, you know, Aladdin for me is like... it's a very, very, very tough film to do live action.
Two things make this super weird for me. One, it's directed by Guy Ritchie. Yeah. Two, Will Smith is playing Genie. I don't know how it's going to work.
Well, to be fair, Robin Williams was the exceptional voice of the Genie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't... There's only one Robin Williams. Well, sorry, there was only one Robin Williams. And we don't even have that anymore, so... Yeah.
Do you reckon that he kind of saw the future and he says, I don't want to play the Genie again? And
nah, he would have just said no.
I mean, like...
He would have just said no.
He said yes to the third... This is the weird thing, like, with the Genie, he said no to the sequel and said yes to the third one.
Maybe he saw how horrible the second one was and he was like, alright, I'll do it again.
To be fair, I reckon that he should have just used his voice from the original one.
Yeah, but then he would have only said the same stuff or similar stuff.
No, because you can cut it and edit it in different ways. It's like
I don't think he said enough words to make a whole other film.
You said a lot in that.
Yeah, but some of those were in very specific cadences that you can't just put into it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. This is why this film's going to be so weird. Like, you're not going to have none of that. And if they're going to use any of the songs, like, how are they going to? Will Smith can't sing. You got to have a friend like me or whatever it's called.
You can. Nah. But they have to have like a break where he can like say, yeah, alright. Haha.
Nah. And what about all the weird references that Genie makes?
What, 3 Wishes?
No, the references he makes. Like, the stuff that you don't realise when you're a kid, that it doesn't make sense being in this movie because it's set.
Yeah.
All the references are set after the movie is set.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Robin Williams' voice is that it changes in tone. I don't imagine Will Smith's Genie jumping all over the place and being as a rag. So, I don't know. It could make the character a little bit more boring, but maybe they had to try and go for a more grounded approach, I guess. But in saying that, you're better off getting... Like, if you was to choose a rapper to be a Genie, I would have gone with Busta Rhymes. I mean, what rapper would you have chosen?
Shaq.
Huh?
Shaq.
Nah, Shaq don't count.
Why not?
Boring, bruv. It's boring. He's
played the Genie before.
A very bad Genie.
Well, he could be a good Genie this time.
I'm trying to imagine it. I can't do it.
Well, I can't imagine Will Smith either, so...
Okay, so speaking of thing that we couldn't imagine, but now we can imagine, Black Widow's film has been greenlit. So, what's your thoughts on that? Scarlett Johansson, scantily clad in a very tight PVC revealing suit, jumping around on her own, much like...
Well, she might not be on her own.
Well, to be fair, the only women that I can imagine that they'll put with Black Widow will probably be like, Spider-Woman, maybe.
Doesn't have to be a woman.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but I don't know. I mean, I suppose they've got the X-Men to play around with. So you got Omega Red, maybe. That would be a good...
Omega Red?
Yeah.
You mean for a villain?
For a villain, yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I like that though.
Neither do I. But I mean, I'm just thinking of ways that they can introduce the X-Men, because now it has been confirmed that X-Men is coming into the MCU.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't. Like, I assume this is set like back before Avengers stuff.
It could be. It could be.
And you can't be like, oh, mutants were around.
No, but they can.
No, you can't.
You can.
You can't do that.
This is the focus. The focus has been changed. So if you think about it on the sort of larger scale, some of the Netflix shows are based within that reality, but they never cross over.
Yeah.
Like, you never see, you know.
Yeah, but that's different. Like having a Daredevil or an Iron Fist or a Jessica Jones running around at the same time as the Avengers are fucking shut up is way different. Like, you can understand why the Avengers are not mentioning that shit compared to like mutants are real and there's dudes that can fucking control minds and throw metal around and shit like that. Like,
they already introduced that in the form of the Inhumans. I mean, it wasn't a successful outing.
Yeah, but again, like, they've not been mentioned in the MCU.
They have, but they haven't.
No, they just haven't.
I mean, I don't think
they've been mentioned. They've been mentioned in that Inhumans TV series, and they've been mentioned in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they've not been mentioned at all in the MCU.
I'm trying to think. There was a reference.
There was not.
No, but what was it? It was during the time when they were building up the hype for Ultron. There was a mention of it within S.H.I.E.L.D. of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. I remember it being like a big thing, and then like that's when they got revealed. It was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then they showed the reveal at the end of, what was that film? Winter Soldier, I think. Was it Winter Soldier or was it? It was one. It was Winter Soldier.
They're not Inhumans.
Huh?
But they're not Inhumans.
No. But I'm just saying in regards to how they were connecting things up. So the Inhumans were part of the experiment. So they weren't using the word mutant at the time. They were saying about it being like inhuman or something like that, or a derivative of that word, metahuman or something like that.
I think you're mistaken.
Well, I know that they had a different word for mutant that they were introducing. Can't remember what it was though.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. Speaking of nothing, Coogler is back on the Black Panther train, which is nothing new.
I mean, in theory, but officially, it wasn't official.
Yeah, but it's like, he's doing great.
Yeah, but they had no deal on the table. Like, until there's a deal on the table.
Yeah. It's all gossip and rumour until money's in your pocket. Right?
Yeah.
Definitely. But I mean, like, I don't think this is going to harm anything to do with Black Panther. I think it's good that they're going with a.
Of course not. It's only a plus. It's only a bonus. Like, it would be disappointing if he just magically wasn't involved.
I mean, like, when they changed up directors with the Iron Man series, I did think that he suffered. I mean, Shane Black. I mean,
yeah, but even then, that was like on the third one. On the third one, you can get away with that. Like, especially after Black Panther being such a surprise hit, it would have been weird to be like, yeah, someone else is writing and directing.
Yeah. I hear that. Speaking about somebody else writing and directing, James Gunn is going to do Suicide Squad 2, a film that may or may not exist.
No, I mean, there's a lot more chance of this existing now that he's on board. What?
I don't think it's a
You
good
disagree?
thing. No, I just don't think it's a good thing. I mean, I would have preferred James Gunn to be not rehired, but helping out with the Guardians Volume 3. The fact that he swapped sides to DC, I mean, I get the bitter grapes bit, but it's like, it's DC.
Sour. Grapes are sour.
No, it's bitter, it's not sour, bro.
No, the phrase is sour grapes, not
No,
bitter grapes.
no, but I'm just saying in regards to this one, it's bitter grapes.
Is it?
Sour grapes is an acquired taste. You know, it's a bit tangy. bitter grapes is where it's just straight up near enough salty, bruv.
Yeah, but I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either, but it's like, I would have, like, personally, I would have gone to write for Valiant Comics rather than DC Comics, because the current run with DC films, it's just been quote unquote.
And the Sony films
trash.
have been amazing, right?
We'll get to that.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
He's got a better chance. This move makes way more sense than what you're proposing. Him going back to Disney is just a non-starter. That's just not going to happen. Bob Iger came out a while ago and he was like, well, we made the decision and I support the decision that we made.
Fair enough.
So that's not happening, like, in any capacity. Anything would have just made it would just make them look stupid. Like any kind of even if they're like, yeah, well, he's just staying on as a writer or a consultant or whatever. It's like, well, you can't non-fire someone. Like either they're fired or not, or otherwise, what was the point of firing them in the first place? And him doing something for Sony and the Valiant universe, like, one, we've barely even heard anything of the Valiant universe.
But the way I see it anyway is that it's the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. That is more of a strength for him. The fact that we've heard about Suicide Squad members and we know about the Suicide Squad from a comic point of view, and then the first iteration was just trash. Like, we're talking, like, you know, BG's mid-70s trash, like, bad, right? For when he had that, it's one of those ones where he knows what he's getting himself into. Like, so he should know he's better off doing the IP that no one
but the
has
thing
an
is,
expectation of.
The thing is, from that film, it's not even really, the characters are not bad. The cast is not bad. It's just the story was shit. And
no, it's not the story. It's the motive of the story.
Both. I mean, that's all part of the same thing.
No. Because the story could be heroes form together, which is obviously Suicide Squad. Heroes form together. Heroes fight together. One of the heroes dies. Heroes vow to avenge that person. Heroes win.
And the motive is part of that narrative, right? So it's still part of the story.
No, but you know and I know it didn't happen like that. So, regards to the motive of the Suicide Squad, as you said before, quote unquote, I'm quoting you from like your first episode, their job in the comics isn't to stop Superman per se, it's to go where the government does not want them, the bad press or whatever. Basically, they're there to do the B missions that need to be done. So it's like one of those ones when you're looking at it from that sort of point of view and the execution of that plan. It's going to be PG, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. It's going to be nothing to do with, like, you know, the violent nature of the comics, which is the one reason why people were drawn to the Suicide Squad. Because, you know, it's like every
but you
every
can
episode,
have violence. You can have violence. It just doesn't need to be excessively bloody or, you know, sweary. Like,
it
you
doesn't,
don't need.
In every episode of the Suicide Squad comic, somebody died. Somebody disobeyed, and
people don't die in PG-13s.
That's it.
No, they do.
They do, but they die in really rubbish, shitty ways. Like, for example, I know for a fact that part of the rating system is that they cannot give people ultimatums before killing them. So there's no life or death situations within a PG-13. So morally, you cannot.
Well, you're wrong, because technically, Suicide Squad was PG-13, right? Yeah. And they have an ultimatum. You do the job, your head gets blown up.
No.
So there's an ultimatum.
There's no heads blown up.
Slipknot died. There was an ultimatum and he died. So clearly you can have an ultimatum in a PG-13.
Yeah, but they can only have one, I guess.
See, now I'm doubting what you're saying.
No. Basically, it's like one of those ones, it's the nature of it. So if somebody does something stupid and they die, then that's one thing. if they are manipulated into doing something for somebody else, which is the whole purpose of Suicide Squad, to prevent their life from being lost, then it goes into one of those sort of like moral grey areas, which is usually a 15 or a 18. So it's like more of a decision thing. So that's what I reckon kind of crippled a lot of elements of the original thing.
No.
That and really bad.
What crippled was it? What crippled it was bad storytelling.
Definitely.
That's what crippled it. Like, and anyway, we don't know. It's not going to be a, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it might be part of that dark one, isn't it?
Could be.
Should be.
I don't think it has to be.
I reckon it has to be.
No, I still think you can make a good Suicide Squad that can live in a PG-13 space.
I have my doubts. I have my reservations and doubts about that.
Of course you can. I mean,
look
at Venom, for example.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like that film, for example, I reckon a lot of the nuance of Venom and the extremities that he goes to was lost.
Yeah, but it's PG-13 in the States. It's a 15 here.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll
like
get to that. We'll get to that.
You're kind of you're splitting hairs because the rating systems are different. There's things PG-13 is going to be. It's either going to be a 12 here or it's going to be a 15 here.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Venom anyway because I know you're dying to get to that. But as a breakthrough, Glass trailer. The second one's come out. What are your thoughts on the whole Glass verse, or the, as I like to call it, the Looking Glass? How's the Looking Glass looking?
It looks okay.
I know. It was worrying, right?
What? It looks okay.
Yes, M. Night Shyamalan, bruv.
Split was okay.
That's what I'm saying. It was okay because we didn't really have that much. I mean, I didn't know it was M. Night Shyamalan film.
Oh, I did.
I mean, I knew like after when it came out.
I knew before. I knew going in.
Okay, cool. So you was prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, the twist on that was actually good though.
But like The Visit, is it The Visit?
There's
the Visit was okay. That was fine.
The Visit.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
The one with the kids and they go to see their grandparents and they're acting all weird in the house.
Oh yeah, no, all dead apparently.
Well, yeah.
That's weird. Well, I mean, like, to be fair, M. Night Shyamalan had offended my film watching abilities way before that. There was The Village, there was The Happening. Oh my god, there was The Happening. Oh my god, there was The Happening. Avatar, which wasn't even that bad. It's just the fact that it couldn't even be what it wanted to be. It had to be called The Last Airbender. Avatar was like copywritten by like James Cameron, so nobody knew it was based on the animation series, and it was just weird. I mean, that's before you get to what actually happened in the film. I mean, those outside reasons were like its main detriment.
Yeah, but you started by saying it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that great either. I'm not
no,
sure.
I mean it was bad.
Okay, and then you've got what's the other one that he done? Okay, so let's just list the films that he's done that are good. That's easier, right? So Unbreakable, Sixth Sense. Basically, most of his films are Bruce Willis. Let's just put it that way. Signs was good. That was during like his box set phase where everybody thought, "Oh, this guy's the next greatest thing." And then
I don't think I've ever seen that all the way through.
Not Signs.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it's pretty much War of the Worlds, but in a house.
Yeah, I guess. But like the argument I always hear is that it's pretty dumb that aliens trying to invade a planet that's mostly water when they don't like water.
Yeah, but it depends. Like if you're coming into a planet and you're on fire. But it all depends. Like
they weren't on fire.
No, but when you're coming through the atmosphere, you're on fire. Because you got like it depends on the scanners, really. I don't know how it works in space travel. I'm not a scientist, but I would assume if you were interplanetary species, you would scan a planet for hospital life. So if you can live
yeah, but it's not really hospitable if it's mostly water. It's like we wouldn't go to a planet and be like, oh, it's mostly desert, let's live there.
Well, we go to Mars.
That's different.
I suppose. But either. So you got Signs, and there was another film that he did that was The Warning Sign. I think it was The Village, actually. I think that was my one.
I didn't see that.
Oh, but don't. It's based on an old school film. But in a nutshell, everybody's running around in this village. It's all primordial, and it turns out that it's all in modern day. And some millionaires basically paid like any air traffic not to basically pass over this one plot of land. And he dies, and then they all escape.
Good stuff.
That is 2.5 hours I've saved you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Well done. So you had that, and then The Happening. Oh my god, that was such a bad film. I mean, even just to sign up. I mean, Mark Wahlberg has been in some trash, but this one, it's the bottom, bruv. It is the scummiest bottom ever. This one's plainly a Payday, and it's horrible. I mean, don't get twisted. I mean, like, Age of Extinction wasn't his fault. It's Shia LaBeouf.
He's not in that.
Exactly, but it's like one of those ones where he damaged so much within that whole franchise that
No,
everyone's
lay the blame where it belongs.
Michael Bay.
Yes.
Fine. Anyway, so Michael Bay aside, whatever, The Happening was the worst film. I mean, it had a really good sort of lead up, and then when you find out the reveal is plants,
Yeah.
you just feel fuck everything.
Yeah.
You've wasted all my time.
Yeah.
And then there was another trash film after that. There was Devil, which wasn't that bad. That's the one.
I don't think he directed that one.
So he just
Produced it.
So we'll actually explain why it's actually good. Which is the
not
one?
good.
It's but it's better. I mean, it's tolerable compared to The Happening. I'm saying that it's not.
Oh, you missed Lady in the Water.
I stopped watching it. I mean, like, this
I haven't seen it.
I accidentally watched After Earth.
Oh, I saw that.
I didn't know it was him.
I did. I knew it was him.
It's terrible.
It is terrible. It's terrible plus boring.
Yes, like, wow.
I was gonna say, you want to talk about paydays? Like, Will Smith just sits down for the whole film, but like his whole family produced it, so it can't just be a payday.
You know, it's really gonna be bad.
What?
The genie. After seeing, after just like reminding myself of After Earth and how trash that was.
Yeah, but he's gonna be a different kind of.
He has no personality outside of like
in that film.
Don't give in to fear? What was that bullshit? Is it something about fear?
Something like that.
Ugh.
Look, he's not going to be playing. He's not going to be that character playing the genie. He's going to be Will Smith playing the genie.
Okay, fine. Which is what, like, this is the thing.
I was thinking,
even thinking about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I was thinking of
He wasn't the best character there. The one that should be like the genie is probably Jazzy Jeff.
He wasn't the best character.
It was. It was saying some fucked up shit and then get dashed out.
But that's just because you wanted to see him get dashed out. Like I wasn't waiting for that Jazzy Jeff episode. I wasn't like, I want to see like Jazzy Jeff's backstory, or like, let's see what he's doing when he's not getting dashed out of the house. I never thought about that shit. I never wanted to see. It's like, oh, he's here again. He's gonna get dashed out. Whatevs.
I suppose. So you got that anyway. So let's look at the basics of what Glass is. So Glass is Unbreakable, Split.
Yep.
The consequences of those two films amalgamating within one main plot, where you have Samuel Jackson in the most fucked up afro, next to Jamie Foxx's fucked up afro in Spider-Man 2. Going against Brian Dunn. Is his name Brian Dunn in there? Well, basically the guy that's unbreakable.
It's something done, yeah.
I think it's Jonathan whatever, that guy. So you got the Beast versus Jonathan or Brian or whatever Dunn. David.
I think it might be
Bill.
David.
David Dunn.
I think so.
Yeah, it might be Double D.
It's a little rough.
Yeah, fine. That guy. Which is Bruce Willis, which is, you know, more than tolerable in some senses. Is it going to be...
Depends if he can be bothered that day.
I reckon he has. I mean, I've already seen like 3 emotions from this one trailer, so I am convinced that he is able to be bothered. Especially after that roast. I think that roast actually helped him.
I don't think so.
I think it did. I truly believe it did.
No, because it's like, these are not things that he can't have heard of before. Like, these are things, everything that everyone said to him, we've all thought, or we've all heard someone say. Like, everyone knows that he's been a sleepwalking motherfucker for a long time. And whatever.
So what is his last good film? I would say 12 Monkeys. Like, before this field of haze. When do you reckon he stopped sort of like being an enthusiastic actor?
I don't know. I think probably around 12 Monkeys time is probably correct.
Yeah.
Give or take a year or two.
Because for some reason I always imagined him to be in 7, but I know he's not in 7. It's only because 12 Monkeys came out and Brad Pitt was in 12 Monkeys. And for some reason I always imagined him being Brad Pitt in 7. It's a weird little combination. But then I watched Looper and then I realised, it's because I watched Looper and now I confused the two. It's weird.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
What the hell has Looper got to do with anything?
No, because Looper is like an investigative reporter or something like that.
Who?
Bruce Willis. Have you seen Looper before?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically Bruce Willis is playing an older version of himself. Spoiler alert.
He's not a reporter. He's a looper.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why it's called Looper.
I know what it is. But
why did you say he's a reporter?
He's not even a looper as such. He's a guy that's out of the loop that jumped back into the loop in order to stop himself from starting the loop. Yeah. So he's there to protect the boy. The one in the middle's...
Yeah, but he's not the boy.
He is the boy.
No, he's not the boy.
He is the boy.
He isn't the boy.
He is.
No, he's not.
He's all 3.
No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not. The boy is the guy that they work for. Pretty sure.
No.
Pretty sure.
Bruce Willis is the last stage of that character. So Bruce Willis is the guy that everything happened to. The one in the middle is the one making the decisions, and the boy is the boy, or he is himself. So basically, the Lupo Corporation is trying to get him to kill him, but he's not killing him because he can't kill a kid, and then he's there to stop him from becoming him.
Then why would he try and kill himself?
It's
a kid?
Well, he didn't want to.
Why would he kill himself as a kid?
Because he didn't want to live the life that he lived.
Then why didn't he kill himself as a kid then?
Because he didn't know that at the time.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Watch that film again, bro.
I've seen it, and I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
I am 90% sure that you're wrong.
There's a lot of Bruce Willis films that we could debate about. But, yeah.
Yeah, but this is the one that you're wrong about.
I'm not. Google it. Bing it. Whatever. But
ask Jeeves, yeah?
Yeah, you can ask Jeeves. You can ask Molly. You can ask a friend. You can phone up a millionaire. It's the same bullshit, bro. Anyway, speaking about the same bullshit, it's the show that you guys have been waiting for. Redacted gets to bitch and moan about how rubbish Venom was in a nutshell. But it wasn't even that rubbish.
Redacted gets to gloat about how right he was for like 8 months.
No, because I was saying the same shit.
No,
I told
you didn't.
Both of them were trash. Both. It's not going to be one of those ones where... I had a little bit of hope, but not a great amount of hope. I mean, I saw the parameters in front of me. It's what, PG-13. Tom Hardy's already complained about all the best bits are cut out.
You should change your name from Shunt to Backtrack.
You know what? I will freaking expose Redacted. It's not a backtrack. You bad guy. But yeah, I mean, like, in regards to the narrative, I feel that it was very bland, but in saying that, I weren't expecting anything exciting. The action was okay.
Some of it was okay.
It wasn't great. Like, there wasn't any sort of, like, wow moments. The only wow moment I had was when they were... Actually, they showed that off camera, innit, where he survived the explosion at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the good stuff... A lot of the good stuff weren't really, like... shown. What else? They did leave it semi-open to MCU influence, so like they acknowledged that he worked in New York. They acknowledged that he worked for a paper in New York. At the moment, Peter Parker hasn't started his job at the Daily Bugle yet. I think that's meant to be happening in this one.
I doubt it.
Jane Jonah Jameson's going to be mentioned.
He might be mentioned, but I don't think Peter will be working there.
Well, either. It's probably they're probably even going to go that he's the masked menace or whatever, or he's going to go. Actually, it's a bit of a weird one because J. Jonah Jameson doesn't really fit into the MCU.
Of course he does.
No, but I mean, like, as a character. Like, within Spider-Man sort of continuity, it works. But in regards to... Unless you... Like, for example, Venom, like, the original comic version of Venom, and the Scorpion angle and all that stuff, brings validation to J. Jonah Jameson being in Spider-Man's life. Because he's not only a manipulator, he's a supporter as well as an antagonist. So it's like one of those ones where... when you're looking at all of these like different elements that J. Jonah Jameson brings to the Spider-Man universe, the buck stops there, sort of thing. The only sort of character I reckon within the films of Spider-Man would be, you know, your Norman Osborns, the ones that have a global threat appeal. So your Norman Osborn, your... what's that one? There's another guy that... Namor, he kind of fights up against.
What?
Well, I mean, like...
What, you're saying they don't fit because they're too street level?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't send the Avengers for them. They can still exist in the universe without having to send Avengers for, like, street level guys.
No,
that's
not
like, what they're for.
But I'm just saying,
that's
like,
not the point
in
of the
regards
Avengers.
to J. Jonah Jameson, like, within this world where we have no real need for a newspaper, in this world where we have no real need for media personality.
They can give him something else to do.
Well, that's what I'm
he
saying,
can be a TV personality, or like he might have a podcast or whatever. Like it doesn't need to be like in the comics right now. He's not running a newspaper.
Well, this is the thing.
I mean, even in the game, like you played it, he's not running. Well, I suppose he probably is. He is running a newspaper, but he's doing shit for.
He's doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah.
So they can do that now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I suppose. But this is the thing. Like, the game had an advantage because it was set 8 years after he already had the powers. It didn't really give a sort of segue to the time.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't, but it does at the same time.
No, it just doesn't, because it's what you're specifically talking about is.
No, but I'm just saying.
J. Jonah Jameson doesn't make sense because we don't need newspapers, or newspapers aren't as important as they were.
But I'm just saying,
at the time when Spider-Man was created.
In regards to Spider-Man's relationship, or Peter Parker's relationship with J. Jonah Jameson. Peter Parker knew J. Jonah Jameson because he used to take photos for the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle then published these photos and then say Spider-Man the Menace. That was the sort of like tit for tat bullshit. Whereas like now, you've got blogs and all that stuff. You've got no real need for newspapers, so it's not really relatable. And even if you was to sort of like pull it down to like a news outlet or media outlet, it just doesn't translate well.
No, but he doesn't necessarily have to have a relationship with him.
He doesn't. But in regards to our relationship with J. Jonah Jameson and Peter Parker, it has to change. Whatever they do to it, it has to change, as it were. But anyway, back to Venom.
Yeah, well, it will change.
Back to Venom, we'll divert. But I'm just saying, like, you know, characters like J. Jonah Jameson were pivotal in the part. Well, mainly his son, who brought down the symbiote. Which, in regards to sort of like the film Venom, they've kind of included the life film, which I kind of thought was okay. It wasn't
Don't
great.
know about that. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, this is another thing. I haven't, because I didn't know it was a film to watch. This is the thing. It's like if they announced it at the beginning and say, by the way, we're training this off from life, then yeah, I could have gotten bored.
Yeah, but it's not necessary. Like, just why would you unnecessarily be like, you know, you've put in an obstacle. You're automatically putting an obstacle in people's way because then they'll think, oh, I have to see that other film. You don't have to see it.
I mean, like, I'm curious to see it. I mean, like, let's double check to see where it's at actually.
What?
Well, life.
What do you mean where it's at? Where you can watch it?
Yeah. I think it'll be on Netflix. You reckon it'll be on Netflix?
Maybe. Okay, old. Not old, but like, because it came out long enough ago that it could be on Netflix.
It came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's long enough ago for it to be on Netflix.
No, it's not on Netflix.
This film was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
So you're not even upset, are you?
Huh?
You're not even upset?
No, I can't be upset. Like, I can't be upset. Like, people have been asking me, you know, what do I think? Should I go watch it? Etc., etc. And my answer has been, I can't recommend you pay for watching it.
Oof. That's just petty, bro.
How is that petty?
I reckon
How is that petty? I'm trying to save.
I know, but I reckon in some senses you can watch this film and because I was speaking.
You can watch it, but if I paid to go see this film, especially if I'm just a casual moviegoer, if I paid to watch this film, I would be upset.
No, I wouldn't actually.
I
mean, like if I didn't watch anything to do with like the comic or whatever or something like that. Oh, it's 2017. It's available on Amazon Prime
For free.
No,
you have to pay for it. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Sci-fi thriller. It's a space crew whose mission turns into one of those primal fear that after discovering a terrifying new life form.
Yeah.
Which turns out to be the Venom symbiote.
It doesn't say that.
Well, the Life Corporation is the corporation that goes up into the air.
Stupid.
It is.
Yeah, no, I can't. I would be upset. Like, even if it doesn't even matter. Like, I went into this film, regardless of all the shit that I was saying before this film came out. I went into it with an open mind. I went into this film with an open mind. I was prepared. I was prepared for this to be good.
You know what? I mean, as I said before, I reckon Venom wasn't going to be able to deliver on the fundamentals. You know, all the spider shtick and all that stuff.
Doesn't matter. This is my point. This is what I'm saying now. This is what I'm saying right now. I went into that film with an open mind. I was prepared for it to be good. Like, even if you take away all my knowledge of Spider-Man and Venom from the comics or the cartoons or whatever.
It's impossible, but carry on.
Whatevs.
It's impossible.
Whatever.
It's impossible. Once you've seen something, you cannot unsee it.
No, but you can base your opinion on what you are seeing and not what you have seen.
As film and narrative, it was a lot better than the DC film.
No, it was on par.
It wasn't.
It was on par.
Better.
It was on par.
It was better.
With Suicide Squad.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
Where there's a loads of shit that don't make sense, and it felt like, a whole bunch of the second act was cut out.
Yeah, it did feel like that. Because it felt like, whoa, we're in the third act. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, and there was no logical transition between Act 2 and Act 3.
Yeah,
it's got 2 first acts and no second act.
It's not. I wouldn't go that far.
I would go that far.
It's not
I would go that far.
I mean, for me, I believe.
I would go that far because you've got the beginning bit where you've got Eddie Brock's life before the symbiote.
I reckon the original.
Then you've got Eddie Brock's life.
The original cut was like 2 hours and a half. I reckon that's how much of the film's missing.
Yeah, but I don't think.
I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, but I feel like that. No, I feel like the part that would have made this film make sense is just not in this film. Like, it was never filmed. That it was never in the script at all. Okay, fine. That's my feeling. That's how I feel about this film.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I do find that were annoying about that.
Yeah,
the way that
every decision that they made in this film was wrong.
Well,
Anything that they could have done to change this film would have made it better.
I mean, like, what they should have done is that they should have reversed the roles of both Riot and Venom in the beginning. So, for me...
That would have made sense.
So, Venom's the roamer. He's looking for...
We'll go for spoilers.
Yeah, we can do it. It's been out for like 4 weeks. And as I said before, it's like...
It's been out for like 2 weeks.
No, by the time this one comes out, it'll be 4 weeks.
With it? Because...
I don't know. You tell me. This can come out whenever. But yeah, in regards to like the ultimate goal of what Venom was meant to be, did it succeed on the premise, on the basis of whatever they had? It was a hit or miss. It was very lukewarm. It wasn't sizzling.
If the aim was to make money, then yeah, they succeeded because it made money.
Yeah, definitely.
If their aim was to make a good film, then they failed because they did not.
Yeah, but their aim was to make a good film that starts off a universe, which I believe,
fail.
Yeah, it's a fail.
It's a fail.
There's not enough in that universe for me to give a fuck about. Even Woody Harrelson I mean, that's the bit that fucked me off. Like, there's a Carnage reveal.
That's almost the worst part.
And it's the worst part. I mean, they might as well have not bothered. I would have preferred to see Carnage bar-leaded.
Yeah.
I would have preferred it. I mean,
it doesn't make sense. Like, you've chosen an actor, a very good actor, who is bored,
and who's played a psychopath.
Nothing against bored people.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are bored.
Yes.
I'm probably going to be bored one day.
Nah, I've got good hair. I can't
Bro,
lie.
you know.
It's fine. Yep.
And in a universe where you're persistent to carry on with like tertiary characters of Spider-Man and the Spider-Man universe,
you know,
like where you're making a Silver Sable movie, like that's a pretty deep cut. Even for Spider-Man fans, that's a pretty deep cut.
I mean, like, they've introduced her quite heavily in the Spider-Man game, and I kind of know about her now, but yeah, it's like what you're saying. It is very, very...
Yeah, it's...
Like, you have to know your Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's like a pub trivia question.
To know, but, like, to care, to even care, like, to find a Silver Sable fan, like, come on.
But I'm saying
so, like, you can do that. You can push through with these characters, a Morbius movie, a Craven solo movie, Venom solo movie, Black Cat solo movies, but you can't have a bored Carnage. Makes no sense.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, even if...
And it's not even like, oh, he has to have red hair or people won't know who he is. It's like, he says when he gets out, it's going to be Carnage. We would have figured it out.
Yeah.
The audience isn't that stupid.
But then, this is the thing. It's like, the midway point throughout the credits, there's a section of Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, which I really fucking enjoyed. I cannot wait for this fucking thing to come out.
That was the best thing about the movie. See, the two end credits scenes were both the worst and the best.
It's like
parts of this movie. Everything else you can throw away.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, like, the actual...
I would super go. I would super...
The base... just put it this way. Like, if you're a Marvel fan and you're waiting for the end credits and all that stuff of your average sort of Marvel film, this isn't the film to do it with. Like, go home. Like, as soon as...
no, but if you want to see Spider-Verse, stay.
No, just watch Spider-Verse. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, but that's not until December. If you've sat through all of Venom, then wait for fucking Spider-Verse.
Nah, but then you're gonna
watch
the fucking Woody Harrelson in a wig thing.
It doesn't matter.
And that to me,
if you sat through all of Venom,
part of the film, like they might as well have not.
It is the worst part of the film. But if you sat through Venom, you might as well. Give yourself a laugh.
Good parts of the film.
Give yourself a laugh. Stay for the Woody Harrelson end credit scene, and stay for sort of Spider-Verse.
That right there is like punishment. That's like goat milk.
The whole film was punishment. You sat through however many hours of Venom.
No, I mean, like, to be fair, like, plot-wise, as I said before, it made more sense. It was weak. It was weak, but it made more sense than what's the last DC film just come out? Not
the last one.
I'm not going to include Justice League It made more
Wonder Woman.
I enjoyed it more than Wonder Woman, but then Wonder Woman was shit for me. It was so shit.
It's not better than Wonder Woman.
It is.
It's not better than Wonder Woman, and I think Gal Gadot can't act. Hot takes, but it's not. It's not better than Wonder Woman.
It is for me. For me.
No,
my opinion is
it's a fallacy right there.
my opinion. But then saying that, I've got a vendetta against DC, so take it for whatever. But in regards to me,
You do have a vendetta against DC.
rightly so. I never told them to make Man of Steel. I never told them to make Suicide Squad. I never told them to make Batman vs Superman. I never made them make Justice League. That fucking mediocre mess. I never did that. They did.
Justice League's alright.
It's a mediocre mess.
I mean, compared to the other shit they've done, it's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay.
You know what? It's like putting sugar into the world's most bitterest tea. That's all it was. That's all Justice League was. It's like you're still stuck with that shitty tea, bro. And it's whatever mess. And you're trying to drink it and shit. And it's
Venom
so
is
cold.
on par with Suicide Squad.
I doubt it. I mean, as I said before, Aquaman's coming out. I reckon the main flaw in this film is that it's going to be way too long. And it's way too duty. Like, you're just going to hear all these euphemisms when he's in his real life. You're probably
because you know why?
You're going to get a Suicide Squad intro to every single character.
It's not. No, you're not, because it's not directed, or it doesn't have.
It doesn't matter. The guy that directs Aquaman is the same guy that did Insidious. How many action films has he done?
I haven't seen it.
Zero.
Fast and Furious.
Zero.
Fast and Furious.
Zero.
Fast and Furious.
He didn't direct any of the good ones.
He directed the second best one, or the best one. The second best one.
Which is
7,
7. So he's done 7.
I think, or 6.
Wishy-washy. Anyway, that being said, that's the end of this episode. Anything else to add, Redacted?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Alright, so we've got one more show to do, and then, yeah, we're going to be taking a break, I guess.
What?
I'm joking. I'm just saying it's because it's been so long since we've done the last one. So yeah, we're basically going to be doing like double episodes this week, only because of our hectic schedules in reality, which sucks.
Yeah, people don't need to hear pod admin.
Okay, fine, no bad admin. And yeah, we out.